Jamie Shadowlight. So, Jamie Shadowlight is now the second performance artist who has passed into the great beyond that is played here at Michelle's Neighborhood Speakeasy. And the last time I saw her was August. She came here and played with Jeff Jacobs and Lena Bella. And we had a beautiful concert, and it was so important to me to have her come because I knew she was battling stage 4 cancer, and we didn't know what was going to happen. And I really wanted to know what she had to say. Part of my passion around bringing singer-songwriters here is the message that the singer-songwriter contains. And usually what gives me goosebumps is not only how they're singing, but what they're singing about and where they're singing from. And Jamie Shadowlight sang from her soul. Just this sweet, whispery vocal, just beautiful. So hold your palms in the air and leave them up for a bit if you knew Jamie Shadowlight. Just leave them up for a bit so everybody can know how many people knew her. Yeah. First to pass was Lena Leilani Deering, and she was the first artist who ever played here at Michelle's Neighborhood Speakeasy. She co-founded the Voices of Our City Choir, homeless choir, and inspired me to find and use my voice. And she passed several years ago now. And now Jamie Shadowlight has passed after a very public battle with stage 4 cancer. And from my view, Jamie's passing was as beautiful as her living. Utterly true to form. The first time I met Jamie was at Cafe Bar Europa, AKA the Turquoise in Pacific Beach. And it's a place that's owned by this guy named Basilio. He's just this festive, beautiful guy. And he invited local performing artists to just come to his open floor. And it was Nina's performance that brought me that first time to Cafe Bar Europa. And I saw Jamie floating around, carrying a small violin case and this perpetually soft smile. And she greeted me like an old friend. I misjudged her extremely warm and welcoming nature as being either drunk, which she almost never was, or very California woo-woo. And I had my guard up. At that time, I really couldn't imagine someone sober or grounded being so friendly and joyful. And I feel some shame now for not really seeing her that first time, regretting a single moment to commune with her irrepressible sweetness, keen mind. She was so bright, so sharp, so smart, and playfulness. She had a way of thoroughly belonging to and loving on every room, group, or gathering she was part of. She loved and lived music. She was an extraordinary violinist, and when I really dug into her history, she had been playing since she was like 5. While I did know her first and second time playing here at Michelle's Neighborhood Speakeasy was with Bree Schillings. When she really got on my radar and in my heart was the day she had announced her diagnosis. And she announced it on social media. She was very public about her process. And I felt a collective gasp across this entire county, like, no way, no, not Jamie. Young, vibrant, so alive. Her GoFundMe collected over $100,000 in a week. I've never seen anything like it before. The outpouring of love was like thunder. and I realized later was an echo in response to all the love she played out. She was just this like love volcano, and with utter sincerity. Somehow she seemed to hold both the sincere belief that she could beat this death sentence while also knowing it was a long shot. I know I wasn't the only one who wanted her belief in magic, the power of the mind, and healing to win. While it seemed a certainty to me that she, like everyone else I've ever known with a stage 4 cancer diagnosis, was going to die of it, I wanted her to be right in her belief of the possibilities, and I wanted her to show me, because she was doing it all right before our eyes. And while she did not magically survive the cancer, she has left an indelible mark on my now slightly less jaded soul, inspiring more willingness in me to continue to believe in the unseeable and unknowable possibilities. I thought if she was unsuccessful at beating this cancer, that jaded part of me would say, "See, I told you so. Get real, sucker. Life's a bitch." But that isn't at all what's happened in her wake for me. What I saw in her as she got thinner and weaker was an irrepressible life force. She was not wasting a minute on guile, hubris, persona, image, sex appeal. Her skinny arms up over her head with a violin bow in one hand and all our hearts in the other. She showed me how to live while she slowly died. Open-hearted, brave, profoundly present, living every moment like it's the last, trusting life itself, engaged, curious, impossibly loving, honest to the core, committed to growth, surrounded by love, uncensored, laughing, dancing, singing, strumming, the tenderest badass I have ever known, holding and being held by a giant community of friends. This, a quote from one of her many awe-inspiring social media posts towards the end: "My life has simplified into thank you, I love you." Her final days were spent recording her songs with friends and collaborators, and you can find some of them on streaming platforms. A few of them, including Out of the Ashes, will play during our break today. So kind of listen for it. It's the last song before we come back. It felt really important to me to do a little tribute for her tonight. It's the first concert that we've had since she's passed. And, you know, all of the musicians feel it. The musician community in town is so tight. It's beautiful. As a matter of fact, Julia Sage, the last time she was here to bring Jamie Shadowlight to her concert in August. So thank you. I love you. I'm really grateful for this opportunity and your open-hearted listening. There are plates of candles here on the floor. And if throughout the evening together you feel inspired to come, there's lighters here. I'm pretty confident we're not gonna set the deck on fire. The candles are on glass plates, it should be fine. We'll keep an eye on it. Please, everybody keep an eye on it. Let's not set anything on fire that doesn't want to be on fire. But anytime you feel like inspired by the music, inspired by what's happening, just traipse on down and light a candle, and we'll let that be our Jamie Shadowlight piece of our concert tonight. Let's take a couple of good inhales and exhales together. Maybe 3. Inhale. Do 2 more of those. Living and dying. 1 more. Thank you. Let's begin our musical journey tonight. So I love this term I've never heard before. South Americana is going to be the sound of Julia Sage tonight, who to me makes me want to dance. And we're kind of crowded, but I'm going to dance at a little spot over there. So yeah, let your sassy whatever out, because she's going to make you want to move. I have found Julia Sage to be one of the most prolific songwriters I've ever known. She cannot stop channeling songs and music through her, and she's an extraordinary musician and a lovely woman. I love knowing her so much. And then I'm going to read you this quote. Please ask for Paul, which is the kookiest name of any band I've ever heard. But whenever I say it, people go, ah. Like, we all know it's just cooler beyond anything. And this is their tagline: a celestial crossroads where the ghost towns of our forgotten pasts greet the dreamscape of tomorrow. And what happened for me, as you know, goosebumps, because I don't invite anybody that doesn't give me goosebumps, mostly across my breasts. It's a very particular location. I mean, when I get goosebumps on my arm, it's one thing. But when it's goosebumps on my breasts, you're coming to play at my... it's not confusing. I went to a local songwriter sanctuary, which happens on the last Friday of every month in this beautiful church off Adams Avenue. And they happen to have brought together Please Ask for Paul and Julia Sage and Paul Cannon in the same night. Paul Sage Cannon, I know, who's playing in July on the 27th. Mark your calendar. That night, I'm like, this is everybody that I want. So it was so easy to find you all. Will you warmly welcome our performing artists for tonight?